In the last video, we saw Toussaint Louverture being arrested and sent to France, where he ends up dying in 1803. His generals, Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Henry Christophe, are taken into the French army and commissioned as generals. However, what causes Dessalines to revolt against his commanding officer, General Charles Leclerc, is not the death of Toussaint, but the underlying plan for the colony. Jean-Jacques Dessalines was a longtime lieutenant of Toussaint Louverture. A former enslaved of the colony, Dessalines participated in the revolt in August of 1791. Dessalines is also a Creole, a person of African descent born on the colony. He ended up rising in the ranks in Toussaint's revolutionary army. It was said by some Haitian historian scholars that the woman who raised them, possibly his mother, was from the Dahomey tribe in Africa, the well-known women warriors of West Africa. When Dessalines became a general in Toussaint's army, he was a very, very formidable general and soldier. Learning military tactics and strategy under General Toussaint, Dessalines was able to win several battles, including the war against André Rigaud in 1799. During the war against General Charles Leclerc and the Expeditionary Force in 1803, Dessalines had a disagreement with his superior officer Toussaint. He accepted a deal that Toussaint bargained, where Dessalines was taken into the French army as the rank of a general. After the death of Toussaint, Dessalines discovered that Napoleon Bonaparte planned to re-establish slavery on the colony. Dessalines and the other black generals that went into the French army was promised that they would not reestablish slavery in the colony. Well, promise broke, and so did Dessalines' army, and Henry Christophe's army, and several other armies ran by black generals. Dessalines became the commander of the army opposing the expeditionary forces of Charles Leclerc. However, Leclerc's army took a severe hit when Leclerc and thousands of his soldiers had succumbed to yellow fever. After Leclerc died of yellow fever, General Donatin Rochambeau took command of the expeditionary force, or what was remaining of it. Rochambeau was a brutal racist. Not only was he to fulfill Napoleon's plan of reestablishing slavery on the colony, but he was to purge every officer and soldier, even in his own army, tainted with African blood. And this included the mulattoes, the ones who were mixed race, one white parent, one black parent. It was said that Rochambeau ordered all people of color who was prisoners of war to be fed to his man-eating dogs he got from the Spanish colony of Cuba. And his treachery didn't stop there. He was known to burn alive, hanged, and drowned several people of African descent, both soldiers and citizens. Some even say he even crucified his victims as well. This brought more troops to Dessalines' side because Rochambeau's alienation of the mulattoes gave them good reason to jump ship. Because you see, majority of the mulattoes was actually sympathetic to the French cause. But due to Rochambeau's ultra white supremacist behavior, they had no choice but to leave him. General Alexander Pétion, a mulatto general who actually fought against Dessalines in the war with Rigaud, had joined forces with Dessalines. You see, Rochambeau had some sadistic plans for Dessalines once he said he captured him. However, Dessalines made sure that Rochambeau knew what Dessalines was going to do if he won the war. And as fate would have it, the army commanded by Dessalines beat the army of Rochambeau. The final battle was in the city of Viertes in November of 1803. Once his army was defeated, Rochambeau was on the run. Dessalines ended up tracking his forces all the way to the northern part of Haiti, which is Cap Haitian. During this time, a blockade by the British was imposed by the island due to the active war the British had against the French. Rochambeau decided to turn himself over to the British forces and become a prisoner of Great Britain. He felt that he would rather be a prisoner of Great Britain than to be tortured by Dessalines. That was a wise choice. With the French army gone and Dessalines declared the victor, Dessalines declared the colony an independent nation on January 1st, 1804. He renamed the colony Haiti, or Haiti, which is called today. Dessalines was able to finish the job of the revolution because he had the heart to do what was needed to be done. He didn't share the vision of his predecessor, Toussaint, to make it a French colony free from slavery. Dessalines felt that if they were going to achieve liberation, they had to break away from France. Dessalines was not naive to think that he was going to be accepted by France, no matter what his intelligence or his accomplishments were. This victorious slave rebellion was the only one in history to form an all-black republic. And while the government of Haiti over 2 centuries have had its issues due to the antagonistic foreign policies of slaveholding nations like France and the United States, it stands as the turning point of the collapse of the system of slavery. The Haitian Revolution was a dream for the enslaved and a nightmare to the slave masters. The Haitian Revolution gave a blueprint of emancipation to the enslaved and an ultimatum to the slave masters saying, this can happen to you. In the next video, we will look at slave rebellions after the Haitian Revolution that was inspired by the Haitian Revolution.